Coming up on Fulton today, the recent Boston Marathon bombing renews civic responsibility across the country and right here in the county. We'll explain. And high school students get an early jump on careers in civil service. Fulton Today is next.
From the Government Center in downtown Atlanta, you're watching Fulton Today with Shania Chavis.
Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. Fulton County Police and law enforcement across the country remind all citizens that if they see something, say something. Now, the recent Boston Marathon bombing renewed the national anti-crime campaign designed to raise public awareness about the importance of reporting suspicious activity. Gary Stiles is the Assistant Police Chief for Fulton County. Sir, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thank you for having me.
Sir, as I mentioned, the recent Boston bombings have heightened alerts about safety. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Well, the tragic and heinous events that happened at the Boston Marathon, causing the death and injury to so many people, brought to the forefront our need in every community to remain vigilant and be aware that we do have people both homegrown and foreign that want to do us harm, and we need to help protect ourselves.
And the national campaign, See Something, Say Something, is again back in the news. Let's discuss that.
The slogan, See Something, Say Something, originated shortly after the events of 9/11, and it was designed to alert the public to assist law enforcement. With approximately 1 million law enforcement officers in a country with well over 300 million citizens, we absolutely need the eyes and ears of our public to assist us in keeping them safe.
And Chief, remind all of our citizens what they should be looking for.
Well, as I mentioned, the simple thing is, of course, backpacks, luggage, packages that are left unattended in areas that would give rise to suspicion by anybody. There's a difference between somebody seeing a garbage bag on the shoulder of the road on South Fulton Parkway, or that same bag left in a doorway of a government building or in a doorway of a school. People are very intuitive, and we just want them to link up with that intuition. And when they feel uncomfortable or they feel something suspicious is going on, we want them to trust that, and we want them to call 911 is the best number. Fulton County has a lot of municipalities in it. There's no point in trying to figure out who to call. Just call 911 and let the message be passed.
And your final thoughts?
Well, first of all, Shania, I'd like to thank you and FGTV for giving the Fulton County Police Department this opportunity to speak directly to the citizens and visitors of Fulton County and enlist their aid in helping all of us keep Fulton County safe.
Assistant Police Chief Gary Stiles, thank you so much for your time and for the great information.
Thank you again for having me.
Now again, if you see suspicious activity, call 911. You can also sign up to be informed about emergency situations and community alerts through the Code Red Emergency Notification System. Now, coincidentally, recent incidents of crime against the U.S. came just as the nation observes National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Here in Fulton County, in honor of local crime victims, balloons were released outside the Lewis-Slayton Courthouse as a part of the national observance.
To honor those affected by crime and violence, and to send our thoughts and prayers up to the sky with our balloons.
30 years ago, crime victims had no rights, access to compensation or services to help rebuild their lives. Well, now the District Attorney and the Office of the Solicitor General work to address new challenges and solutions for crime victims and their advocates. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, 50% of all crimes go unreported, and only a fraction of the victims get the help they need.
I lost a daughter to a victim of a heinous crime, and her name is and was Kenesha Raquel Carr. And she was 23 years old. I didn't get a chance to see her the day that she died. I saw her probably 3 days after she died because she had gone to the coroner's office. It's a hard time, and it still is a hard time, my getting over her death.
Students at universities across the metro area also participated in an awareness campaign to draw attention to victims of sexual violence. Citizens who respond to emergency calls and dispatch and emergency personnel are honored for the life-saving work that they do. Now, this was a part of another national observance, National Public Safety and Telecommunications Week.
Fulton County Emergency Services, Katrina is speaking. How may I help you?
24 hours a day, 365 days a year, they are on the job. They're Fulton County emergency operators who often stand in the gap between life and death. Recently, Fulton Board of Commissioners proclaimed 911 Day in the county. Call takers, dispatchers, and other communications staff were thanked for their hard work and dedication.
This week is time for a grateful county to show its appreciation and to recognize that our health, safety, and well-being are dependent upon the commitment and steadfast devotion of public safety telecommunicators who are the lifeline of public safety services.
We're just thankful to recognize them today, not only the ones standing here with me, shoulder to shoulder, but those that are back in the various call centers, those that are at home resting after a 12-hour or 14-hour shift. They're to be commended. They do an excellent job all the time. So this is an opportunity to thank them and thank the commissioners for their unwavering support.
Telecommunicators Week started in 1981 to designate a special week to honor public safety telecommunicators. For the caller in distress, their lifeline is the phone line. The 911 dispatcher on the other end of the line has to determine what's going on, what needs to happen to respond to the emergency, and what personnel and equipment needs to be dispatched.
What's the reference number?
Last year, 911 formed an intergovernmental agreement with Fulton County Schools to respond to dispatching requests for police, fire, and other public safety services.
This agreement benefits all involved in school safety in that it establishes the lifeline of communications and it connects the public safety personnel with 911 personnel that are skilled and professional in providing communication services.
Fulton County 911 services 14 cities in unincorporated Fulton County. They also collaborate with neighboring 911 centers on calls at border jurisdictions. Kudos to 911 operators and all they do to keep us safe. Now, if you want to get alerts for emergency situations in your area, such as evacuation notices, bioterrorism alerts, boil water notices, and missing child reports, you can sign up for the Code Red notifications. High school students interested in careers in local government have an opportunity to see those careers up close and in person. Applications are now being accepted for the Clerk of Superior Court's Junior Deputy Summer Internship Program. Students will receive hands-on experience and invaluable skills such as interviewing techniques and career development.
A few of the things that our interns will be doing this summer are working in various divisions in our organization, from real estate to civil to courts. They're going to gain some invaluable experience. Our students will also be attending off-site visits to the governor's office, to the mayor's office, and then county officials as well. So they'll have an idea of what our state and local officials do as elected representatives that serve our community. And then students will also have an opportunity to build their SAT vocabulary, which will help increase their score. Each morning the students will be going through different exercises that will build their vernacular, and this will transfer over into their academic learning.
The clerk's office is the official record keeper of all Superior Court action concerning civil, adoption, criminal, and real estate matters. The Junior Deputy program runs from June 18th through July 27th. Now, interested students should act fast. The deadline to submit the application is this week. You can get more information on the web or by calling the numbers on your screen. Meanwhile, students attending Fulton County Citizens University talk tax matters with the tax commissioner. Dr. Arthur Ferdinand talked about his duties and responsibilities and explained the differences between the offices of the tax commissioner and the tax assessor.
Today, fair market value is a totally different thing since the economy tumbled.
The commissioner also discussed real estate and personal property taxes, local option sales taxes, and yes, the new motor vehicle tax law.
I learned a great deal. There was a lot of information that I wasn't aware of in terms of the different duties of the tax assessor's office and the tax commissioner's office, and just tying everything in. So it was really beneficial to just finally know how everything comes into play.
The presentation drew plenty of questions from students.
I was not familiar with the TADS. I had heard about a CID at a homeowners meeting and the possibility of trying to establish one. So just getting that fuller explanation of what a CID and TADS were all about was very enlightening to me.
From taking care of your finances to taking care of your health. Next week, students learn more about the county's health services. And still to come, the U.S. Comptroller makes a stop in the county. We'll tell you why in our district-by-district coverage next.
You're watching Fulton Today.
The nation's comptroller addresses financial literacy while in the county, and hundreds show up to race for a cure for sickle cell. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage.
We begin in District 1 with Chairman John Eves. He joins Thomas Curry, the U.S. Comptroller of Currency, and Atlanta officials for a forum discussion at the Hope Center at Ebenezer.
I'm here today at the invitation of Operation Hope, which is a hometown entity that's doing a great job in terms of financial literacy for our citizens within our community.
Financial literacy plays a big role in the community. The president of the Atlanta City Council says the new racism is poverty, and the #1 cause of divorce and domestic abuse is money.
Everything happens with community. You know, our first objective for this is to build a coalition, to build the community, to have an audience of white, black, rich, poor, corporate, nonprofit sector, faith-based, all having a conversation together about how we all collectively move forward.
Speakers at the forum highlight Dr. Martin Luther King's 50th anniversary for his famous letter from a Birmingham jail cell. Thomas Curry said Dr. King's financial management skills allowed Ebenezer Baptist Church to flourish. The Hope Forum series is an effort to provide access to financial dignity to communities. For more information, log on to www.operationhope.org. In District 5, Earth Day has always been an important activity designed to make the world a better place. Vice Chair Emma I. Darnell said the Fulton County Commissioners encourage all residents to make every day Earth Day.
We are having activities that are designed to clean up, designed to inform, designed to reduce the incidence of environmental pollution and stressors in our neighborhoods.
Earth Day is observed worldwide on April 22nd. According to earthday.org, Gaylord Nelson, a former U.S. Senator from Wisconsin, founded the holiday in 1970. The County Health Services Department offers tips to residents to become environmentally safe. Log on to www.fultoncountyga.gov for more information. In District 6, Commissioner Joan Garner and Atlanta City Councilman Kwanzaa Hall greet their partners as all of them prepare to kick off the second annual Yo Boulevard Back to School celebration. Yo Boulevard is a program that brings together health and human services to Northeast Atlanta, 4th Ward community.
I'm thankful that the county has embraced this initiative and been a strong partner. It is like our Intel inside. It is the resource provider for the human service needs that we have in the Boulevard corridor.
Commissioner Garner reported to the group that this 1-mile corridor has the highest concentration of poverty in the Southeast. The area includes Bedford Pines, an apartment community with 700 units occupied by young adults ages 18 to 25 with children. The planning meeting, hosted by Commissioner Garner, was held to share ideas and plan for the upcoming event on Saturday, July 20th. And finally, in District 7, the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia and the South Fulton Running Partners host their 34th annual road race. Participants had the option to either walk or run to support a good cause.
This is especially important for me because many years ago, I had a nephew by the name of Kerry McNair who died of sickle cell. And his mother and her family have always been involved with the movement in terms of sickle cell finding a cure. So we're excited about the day. We have hundreds of runners today, hundreds of walkers today to help to find a cure for sickle cell anemia.
According to the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia, health problems associated with the disease include bone damage and an enlarged spleen. There is no cure for the sickle cell disease. However, since the foundation was formed, improvements have been made.
When the foundation began in 1971, the average age of death was 18. It's now up to 38 years old. So we're always saying we're going to find a cure for this. And in the meantime, we do testing and we teach people how to handle it.
Between 1,100 and 1,300 people signed up for the race at Waccamaw Park. For more information about the race, log on to sfrpatlantag.org. With this week's District by District coverage, I'm Darrell Peak.
Thank you very much. And when we come back, the connection between chronic diseases and faith. We'll explain.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Portions of the following segment are part of the Fulton County Common Ground Initiative. Common Ground, the county's comprehensive solution to the problem of health disparities in the community.
The Interfaith Coalition of Fulton County marks its one-year anniversary with a health summit. It is the focus of this week's Common Ground report. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn reports that the agenda for the summit focused on integrating faith, science, and policy, all to promote health. Lynn?
Interfaith Coalition members gathered at the College Park Regional Health Center, strengthening their commitment to reduce chronic diseases in our county.
Right now, more than a quarter of all Georgia residents between 18 and 64 lack health coverage.
The first year's focus was organization. Now they're putting their long-term strategy into action.
They're trying to promote breastfeeding to prevent obesity, talk about healthy vending machines in their churches, promote tobacco-free policies and signage in their churches. We've formed a structure. We have an organizational structure now. We have the bylaws placed and the guidelines. We have the community gardens in each of these congregations.
One of those congregations is Bethel United Methodist Church in Southwest Atlanta. All of the Interfaith Community Gardens were made possible by grants from the Fulton Health Promotion Division.
This is an investment that can be used year after year after year. People will bring their own vegetables on the 4th when we're having our ceremony, and they'll plant whatever they want. Our youth will have a garden. They will not only learn entrepreneurship skills by selling or doing their vegetables, but they'll enjoy cooking them, enjoy tasting them, sampling an eggplant where many of them never have seen one grow, or the glory of an okra. The okra has the most beautiful flower you've ever seen. They don't know that. They will now, because of Fulton County.
Reverend Michael Stinson, the pastor of Bethel United Methodist, practiced medicine before becoming a minister.
But Christianity is a lifestyle, and a lifestyle of health, because our bodies are temples. So we have to take care of our bodies. But we also have to take care of our earth. So clean air is important, clean ground is important. So to have a garden at the church where people can come and grow and experience God's nature is a blessing.
With this week's Common Ground report, I'm Lynn Vaughn, FGTV.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Now, to work with or receive information from any of the Health Promotion Division's coalitions, call 404-613-1243. The Health Services website is fultoncountygahealth.org, and it contains more detailed information on these health initiatives. The other health coalition that is marking its one-year anniversary is a program called FAIR. It's the Fulton Asthma Improvement and Reduction Initiative. Members of the coalition recently met to celebrate the milestone and to discuss what's next. The coalition is made up of dozens of agencies and organizations, both public and private, who are all working with the county to lower the high rates of asthma. Like diabetes, asthma has reached epidemic proportions, affecting some 25 million Americans of all ages. Here in Fulton, 1 person in 12 suffers from asthma.
So over the past year, it's been information gathering, really trying to identify who are the segments of the community that have been most affected, in what ways have they been most affected, and what we can feasibly do to make the greatest impact that we can on their lives.
The FAIR Coalition has been working to increase awareness of what triggers asthma and what can be done to control the disease. Among the next steps discussed was the creation of a FAIR online hotline.
As we move forward now, we're looking for concrete solutions, really continuing to engage the community and look for members who are interested in putting some work into making the difference that we promised the children and the families who had been affected by asthma a year ago. The community can actually make a difference by recognizing that there are children that have this illness and it affects them every day. And even if it's not your child, because you can contribute to the environment in some way, you can make a difference in helping keep everyone around you healthy.
Now again, the way to reach the Health Promotion Division of Health Services is by phone or at the website that you see right here. When a health provider tells you that your blood pressure is 120/80, do you really know what that means? Well, May is High Blood Pressure Awareness Month, and Health Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention want us to be more aware of our blood pressure. The first number, 120, is the measurement of the pressure when the heart has pumped blood. That second number, 80, is the pressure when the heart is in between beats. Now, 120/80 is a normal pressure level, but high blood pressure or hypertension can lead to serious diseases such as chronic heart disease and stroke.
Blood pressure is the most important thing that determines someone's risk of having stroke, heart attack, heart failure, or kidney failure. So if you don't control your blood pressure, you can get into big trouble by having one of those sorts of events. So, and like I said, you can't tell when your blood pressure is high or not. So you need to take your medicine according to the doctor's monitoring of your blood pressure. Blood pressure is not the kind of thing where you take the medicine for a week and you're cured either. You need to be on it until your doctor tells you you don't need it anymore.
Regular blood pressure screenings are an essential part of the health fairs sponsored by the county. Blood pressure checks are available to citizens at our Spark clinics and other special health-related events. You may also visit any one of the county-wide networks of health and service centers to get a blood pressure reading. You can give us a call at 404-612-1211 or go online to fultoncountygAhealth.org. And still to come, blue doors are popping up all over the county. We'll tell you why when we return.
Watching Fulton Today.
Need money to fund that bright idea? Well, your local library may be able to point you in the right direction. That's what some future students and entrepreneurs did when they attended the Where's the Money workshop at the Dogwood Branch Library. Whether their idea is to go to college or start a business, participants learned that the library is a good place to start to turn that idea into reality, especially for the business-minded.
Business owners will have an opportunity to acquire information regarding potential clients, their targets, who they need to target, how to target them, and also what money is available for them to start a new company.
Anyone can find the information they need to go to school or start a business at any of the libraries in the county. Just go online to the library's website to find out about workshops like this one, or just visit your neighborhood branch. And finally, celebrating today's youth through art. Some residents may have noticed blue doors in some of the libraries, the county's Justice Center, and even the Government Center. Well, those doors were a part of the 75 Blue Doors Art Project, celebrating 75 years of the Boys and Girls Club of Metro Atlanta.
These doors symbolize for a generation growing up in a lot of turmoil, a way into a different future. It symbolizes hope.
The 75 Blue Doors Project featured artwork from over 20 artists, including youth and staff from area boys and girls clubs. Some artists used their work to honor other children like those killed in the Sandy Hook Elementary tragedy. And by the way, the Boys and Girls Club receives art funding from the Arts Council. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to hear from you about the stories and programs here on FGTV. Go to our website to take a survey or email or call us. The number 404-612-8317. The email address is fgtv.feedback@fultoncountygA.gov. You can also Follow us on twitter.com/FGTV, friend us on Facebook, and watch us on YouTube. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.